Hi, everybody. Who am I talking to?
Okay, here's Sari talking.
Hi, Avi. How are you doing?
Okay, hi, Sari. I'm going to be unmuting more people.
It's Erwin Rosenberg, the number you didn't know.
Okay, very
That's
good.
Erwin. Oh, that's someone I haven't had a word from in 50 years.
He's
Who
now.
else is online? That's Asher. Hi, Asher.
Hey, how you doing?
Sari.
Hi, everybody. This is Shelley.
Kelly's
Hi,
on.
Kelly.
I'm unmuting Marty.
Why, Marty?
Hi, how's everyone doing?
Unmuting Rami Lador.
Hi, Marty. Why? This is really strange.
Okay, Janice.
Hi, Janice.
Hi, Janice.
Why does everybody look like they've aged 50 years, huh?
I don't know. Wasn't graduation last week?
It must be the Zoom. It must be the Zoom.
Yeah.
Makes us look older.
It's
Hi,
definitely the Zoom because we're only 18 years old. Not a problem.
The
Yeah.
camera adds 50 years. Yes, I know.
Held that to my back and my thumb and my knee, you know.
Thank you for organizing this. It's so wonderful to see everybody.
Okay, Rami, you're unmuted. Say hello.
Who am I saying hello to?
Everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Rami.
Hi, everybody.
Larry
Please
Turn.
know-
Where are you?
Thought I was going to be late because I had an appointment at the barber, but
Yeah, me too, Robbie.
Marty Blumenthal.
Yeah.
You
Marty
ran for office, didn't you?
What was that?
You ran for
In
office,
the
didn't
middle?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Unconscious.
yeah, for Rosh HaMemshalah.
Okay,
Maybe you want to come here and try.
Yeah.
Esther Parrish, you have to press something if you want to unmute yourself. Okay, same thing with Erwin. Look for something to unmute yourself.
Avi, why do we just see a picture of you? Where are you?
Camera is not doing too well. Okay, so you can look at the cherries that I picked. Okay.
I'm using my telephone. I don't have a camera on the computer.
Okay.
I guess Erwin
Says
doesn't
here
have a
that he
microphone.
has no microphone.
Okay.
It's Cheryl.
Air conditioning.
Cheryl McGenzie Cheryl Wolf just wrote me that she's not managing to get in. That the
Wait,
host won't
hold
let
on
her
1
in.
second.
Cheryl, Nomi, and Jassy are all waiting to get in.
Okay, I'm letting them in.
In the middle?
Jassy, Cheryl, and Peretz are, and
Nomi.
Gila Greenman are all coming in now.
And Nomi also, I think.
Hi, Nomi. Who's that? Oh,
Okay, Daryl is also going to be joining us.
hi, Cheryl.
Hi.
I'm here.
Hi, Nomi.
Hi,
Hi,
Daryl.
Daryl.
Hello.
Hi, Daryl. Wow.
Hi, Jess.
Years.
Hi, Cheryl. Long
Hi.
time no see.
Hi,
How are
everybody.
you? Know me? Hi, Marty. Haven't seen you in a while.
Hey, how you doing, Cheryl? Yeah,
Good, thank God.
yeah, we missed it last day.
Yeah, see your brother all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He comes and knocks on my door.
Uh,
Wow, it's so cool.
Well, this is the
Hi,
way.
Nomi.
Wait, Asher, I haven't seen you in years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
What?
No. This is window.
Hi. My God.
I can't tell.
Hey, Sari, you never sent me the picture of us.
I have a nice picture of us.
Yeah, you never sent it to me.
I never sent it to you?
No.
I'll get it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Hi, Gila.
Senior dinner.
Everybody, I need to apologize. I'm in the middle of a work day, so I'll stay on as long as I can. That's okay.
Work is overrated.
Yeah,
Hey, can't you tell your brother that this is a reunion from our class?
no.
Okay, Rhoda Shotlin is just joining in.
Wow.
We're all
How
getting.
many are you, Avi, can you put us all on one screen?
Hey, you could possibly do it.
In the corner, there's like a
us all on one
grid.
screen.
Press grid.
No.
And you'll get all of us on one screen.
Yeah, it's a gallery.
You don't have to look anywhere, just straight ahead.
Hey, Eileen, hi.
You and
Hi,
I-
Jackie.
Most people have a.
Hi, Naomi.
Wow.
With them. We
Hi,
don't.
Rhoda. Shoshana.
Wait, where's
Shoshana.
Rhoda? Oh, Shoshana, Rhoda, hi. Hi.
Hi, Eileen.
Eileen, how are you?
Why don't we do this
You're
more
on mute.
often, huh?
I
We
know.
should. Now that we have Zoom, we just found out about Zoom.
You just found out about it. I've been going to classes since March on Zoom.
Yes, March. Of course, I work on Zoom.
Hi,
I work on Zoom since March, every day. But I'm saying this year,
Esther, let's see your
it's
picture.
my life, Zoom.
Wait, where's Rami?
It's up there. Depends which part of the grid.
I look the same. A few years older.
Everybody looks, hey,
Wait a minute. This is
Preparing
my
my
great grandchild.
I'm preparing my 35-minute speech, so everybody can.
Rami.
Rami, you only have 2 minutes.
Marvin, Red Moshe has just joined.
hi, Marvin.
Hey, Mark.
Oh, there's my.
It's great. It's really great.
Hey, we've all got a little bit different colors than 50 years ago.
Hi, Jassy.
Speak for yourself, Jassy.
Huh?
Sherry.
Speak for yourself.
Hi.
Hi, Jocelyn.
None of
No,
it.
we believe in dying.
You know what I say, Naomi? I say most of us cover the gray one way or another.
Okay, now you can hear me?
Oh, yeah, Marvin, we can hear you.
Okay, Marv.
They're all here.
Hi, Marvin.
Good morning, afternoon, evening.
Whatever, whatever.
Talking at once, so you know.
It's the same world.
Am I
unmuted? As well. Your sandwiches. I don't know what that means.
Isn't Miragesh?
You don't know how to use this. I think.
No.
I just spoke with Larry Horn. He's gonna try to connect. His wife just had an operation yesterday.
Oh.
Sherry Warner.
And he's gonna try to manage to get in before. Hi, Marvin.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay, I'm gonna be in and out because I'm also conducting a Zoom meeting on
Oh,
a
okay.
different computer.
Me too. My boss may call me any minute.
Avi,
Yes.
Avi, why don't you let the people who have
I
to
need
go?
to, I need to mute myself for a little bit.
Hi. Hi, honey.
Why don't you let, Avi, why don't you let the people speak who have to go?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Who has to leave very soon? They have the right of way. Let them speak, okay? Marvin, do you want to start?
Yeah, I have about maybe 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay, you
Okay,
got 2
and
minutes to
I'd
talk
like to
right
go,
now.
please.
Okay.
No, let's go back to him.
Okay, so I
Marvin
think
talk.
though that if someone speaks, everybody else should sort of mute or something.
Okay, everyone mute themselves, let Marvin talk. Okay.
Ready.
Oh,
I don't know how to,
power.
am I muted? I don't know how to do it either. Can you
Okay,
mute
I'm
us?
muting people, okay?
Mute me.
It's in the lower left-hand corner of your screen by the microphone symbol.
Okay, hello you all.
Okay.
You can still hear me though?
Yes.
Yes, we hear
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Hear you.
Okay. So actually, one funny thing is I'm on this other computer, I'm running a meeting for the academy. So there's a, there's a learning program for guys in the summer who didn't get to go away to Mosheva or to other camps. And so all of a sudden there was this need. So we're sort of filling it in. And I do as, like as Shelley will tell you, occasionally I go and give advice to the academy and hopefully they ignore me. This is, but in any case, that's one of the things I'm up to. But we're here in Chicago and we'll be here for probably 2 or 3 years more till my wife retires. And then we'll hopefully be able to come back to Israel, world permitting. That's essentially what we are up to. So, okay, you can move along unless there are questions.
Marvin, tell us an academy memory.
Do I remember anything from the academy at all? Gosh, probably the one thing that jumps right into my head was.
Okay, I think Marvin's leaving us. I'd like Cheryl to start as the great-grandmother. Cheryl?
I'm back.
Okay.
Oh, here he is.
Okay. I'm back. It just got related to the Zoom stuff, a phone call. Okay. I guess, the first year at the academy during the '67 war, I remember going in the bus from the south side and making this big bet with the bus driver, everybody on the bus against him. Do you remember that, Steve?
Norm the bus driver, right?
Right, exactly. And we won the bet because he bet on the Arabs. And he had to pay off to every person on that bus who all put in a few dollars. But he was graceful, Norm the bus driver. He said, "You guys, you beat me. I'm going to pay you all off." But that's one thing that hits me right away.
Okay, very good. Thanks a lot, Marvin. Reb Moshe. Okay. I'd like Cheryl. Cheryl, you have to press your unmute. I'd like you to.
I'm going to let Shelley go before me because she has to go to a meeting. So I'm going to defer to Shelley.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hi, everybody. A little bit about me. As you all know, I teach full-time at Ida Crown, to us, Chicago Jewish Academy. Depending on the year, and Marvin will tell you about that, I either teach Tanakh or I teach Ivrit. I also mentor teachers, and I also provide academic resource to children who have learning disabilities. I remember how odd it was when I returned to the academy as a teacher. Like, I couldn't believe that I was sitting on the other side of the desk. It was really strange. What else can I tell you about me? I live in Chicago with my husband, Eddie. We have 3 children. All 3 are married. 2 of our married children who have our grandchildren, we have 9, also live in Chicago. Our son, Adam, made Aliyah. He's married to an Israeli, and I'm sorry, just a minute. Hello? I'll call you back. He's married to an Israeli, and they both work in high tech. They are temporarily living in San Francisco and basically saving money for a down payment on an apartment in Israel. What else can I tell you? Marvin Simkovich and I see each other often. He comes to observe me. We work together. It's pretty cool. So it's really nice. It's really nice to see all of you. I can't believe that we graduated 50 years ago. And maybe that's because I'm still involved in the same place where I grew up, but it's totally amazing.
Okay, thanks a lot, Shelley. Okay,
Thank
everyone.
you. And I'm sorry, I really do have to, I'll keep it muted, but so that I can hear, but I've really
Okay.
got to go.
Very good.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks a lot, Shelley. Larry Horn, Chaim Horn has just joined us also. Okay, so we'll say hello to him. And Cheryl, do you want to take over now?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm trying to, my memory isn't just what it used to be. So I'm trying to remember, besides studying with Sari and, right, I'm trying to remember what else I can remember about the Academy. One of the things that I remember is when we had our senior class play, it was just weeks before our play when the edict came out that we were not going to be able to have women sing. And that must have been the very beginning of Kolisha. And all of a sudden we had to have a choir back up the female singers. And that was quite an interesting experience because none of them knew the songs too well. They couldn't sing on key, so that was kind of a challenge. But lots of good memories from years back, and it's hard to believe that it's 50 years. I live in Chicago, or Skokie. I see Asher and Marvin often, which is really nice. And I see Jassy and Shelley. I run into Larry, Marty. Once in a while we get together. I have 4 children. 2 live in Chicago. 2 actually live on Lunt, right where Asher lived. They live down the block from Asher, where Asher grew up, across the street of each other. One of them has 7 kids and one of them has 5 kids. And the houses are like one big family. And I have 2 that live in Cleveland right now. So I have, thank God, Baruch Hashem, I have 21 grandchildren. And this is my pride and joy. My great granddaughter, who also lives on Lunt. So we get to see them a lot when it's not Corona time. And I went back to school when I was about 40, I went back to school to become an occupational therapist. And for the last 22 years of this, since I graduated about 25 years ago, 26 years ago, about 22 years I've been working in pediatrics with children with disabilities. I love it. I work with teachers as part of teens, and I think of myself as their age. So I still think I'm like in my early 30s, late 20s. So very hard for me to believe that my oldest just turned 45 and my youngest just turned 35. So that's about all I could say. I'm married to Mayor McGenzie, who I took to Winter Review. Winter Review, is that what it's called? Winter Review, my last year at the Academy. And we're going to be celebrating our 48th anniversary this summer. That's all.
Okay, Kanai Nahara, thanks a lot, Cheryl. Okay, let's go to Israel. Rhoda Shoshana, do you want to take over? I'm going to look for you to unmute you. Okay, Shoshana, if you unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, you're on.
All right. Am I supposed to see myself? I don't see myself, but whatever. I'm so happy to see everyone. Cheryl, you remind me of your mother. You look just like what I have in my mind of your mother. This year I am retiring from teaching. At 67, the Misrad HaChinuch, which I call the Misrad HaLo Mechunach, the Ministry of Education, does not allow anyone to teach after the age of 67. So I'll be retiring. I've been teaching English in Israel since I came in 1977. I made Aliyah July 4th, 1977, so that means something to all of us Americans who I declared my independence. I have one daughter, and she has 4 children. And it's a big miracle because when she got engaged, she was told that she can't have any children. And we're very pleased that she has 4 wonderful, strong children who are, of course, remarkable. And if you recall, I was married to a man who I adopted his son, Moshe, and he has 6 children. So I'm pretty busy, and I live alone, and everything is pretty good, except my memories of the academy. Of course, with Mr. Broderick and Dr. Schechter and Rabbi Eisenberg, etc. I don't have such fond memories of being called upon, but being with everyone, that's my favorite thing about school, being with everybody and activities. So that's all I can say. Memories, I remember a lot of nice activities, especially like winter review and senior dinner. And I think that everybody has really grown and developed in what I always thought that they could be. I miss Beverly and Lynn. Are they connected at all? Are they here?
Beverly never got back to me, so I have no idea what's going on. She didn't answer any of the emails.
Yeah, okay. I'm missing all the people, and I really appreciate you letting us know about the deaths. And I think that in our big family, and I think that we should make some sort of memorial for the people who have passed away.
That's an idea. Okay. Thank you, Dorota.
Nice seeing
Shoshana.
everyone.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I'd like to go back to the States, New York. Janice, I'm unmuting you. Just press the unmute. You're on.
I don't see it. Okay.
Janice, go ahead.
Okay. I'm a little uncomfortable talking. I'm not used to public speaking. Okay, what should I tell you? I've been living in my husband wants to speak for me. I've been living in Brooklyn, New York for the past, I don't even know how many years, at least 45 years. And I'm married to a math teacher. And I graduated from Adelphi University many years ago, and I became a preschool teacher. And I've been working for 25 years as a pre-K teacher at the Sephardic Community Center. And I retired 5 years ago. And what have I been doing the last 5 years? Basically helping my children. I raised 4 children, 3 girls and 1 boy. The 3 girls are married. I have a lot of grandchildren. So I do a lot of babysitting, at least until Corona. I've been stuck in this house, and my son is an attorney, and one of my daughters is a pediatric dentist, and my other daughter is a lawyer, and my youngest daughter is a speech therapist. So they keep me busy, and they all send their kids to Yeshiva Flatbush. They graduated from Yeshiva Flatbush, and now they're sending their children to Yeshiva also. I've my daughter that lives in Teaneck, New Jersey, sends her children to Frisch and to Yavna. And my children that live in Long Island, my 2 daughters live in Long Island, they send their children to Hale, Hafter, and Hank. So we pretty much cover that territory. My son lives with us since Corona. So, and he's kind of like our warden, doesn't let my husband and I out of this house because it's really a hot spot here in Brooklyn. We had over 10 families on our block that got ill, and some died and some are just recovering. So it's been pretty bad. But I'm going to talk about some good memories that I had going to the academy. I jotted them down. Rhoda we took one of my memories, which wasn't a good memory, and that was Dr. Schachter's class. Also, but I had very fond memories of Dr. Keem or Mr. Keem, our biology teacher. I remember dissecting the fetal pig and our amazing trip to the Indiana sand dunes. That was really, really special. And most of all, I remember going to Reb's when they first opened. It was very exciting having a kosher restaurant in Chicago. And also I remember the best memory is sitting in the hallway on those radiators. That was so much fun talking to all my friends, and miss you guys. Can't believe it's 50 years. Thank you so much for organizing this, Avi, and I hope that we can all keep in touch after this. But, and I'm sorry for all the sadness that anyone has experienced. I know a few people lost special people this year, and as I did, and you know, thank you for all your good wishes on Facebook. So be in touch with you.
Okay. Thank you, Janice, very much for those memories. Okay, Asher, you're up. You can unmute yourself.
There we go. All right. So hi, it's good to see everybody after all this time. As Cheryl said, you know, us Skokie people see each other regularly, and some of the Chicago people we see from time to time. So it's really nice to still have that connection. So I went from here to Boston, was there for 5 years, met my wife, good thing. We had our 45th anniversary Monday. So I don't know how she put up with me. I don't know how long how she's put up with me that long, but she still has. So we've been living in Skokie for over 40 years. So a long time here. When I got out of school, I worked at Carroll's for a little while. Then that went out of business like in the early 90s. So I've done a bunch of different things since then, including working at the Federation. I had an experience similar to Shelley. I worked at the ATT for 4 years. So being in the Academy building was just very interesting. Couple funny things was one, I remember David and Rosie Lennon. David unfortunately passed away a few years ago, but their son, Mark, their youngest son, Mark, who's younger than any of my kids, was teaching at the Academy. And if I saw him in the hall, I had to call him Mr. Lennon because it was in the middle of school and you just couldn't call him. I couldn't call him Mark, but so that was kind of funny. It was just, and I was the athletic director there for 1 year at the Academy too. So that was also pretty interesting. Instead of being able to scream and yell like I did when my kids were on the basketball team, I had to just keep my mouth shut and be a good boy. So little interesting. So I've been in sales for the last 9 years after the ATT, and my wife retired. She was planning to retire at the end of March. And then when Corona hit, since then she's been thrilled that she retired because she's a nurse and she would have had to been working on the floor occasionally, and she hadn't touched a patient in about 20 years. So she was happy not to have to do that. I have 3 sons. 2 of them live in Israel, one in Alon Shvut in the Gush. And he teaches some classes there and does most of his parnassus from editing Sfarim. He teaches bar mitzvah boys, things like that. He has 3 kids. I have a son in Yerushalayim in Ramat Eshkol. I'm sorry, David Mann's not on here because my son lives right near where David's apartment was in Ramat Eshkol when he went to Hebrew U. And I stayed with him for a couple of weeks when I went to visit my wife when she was at Hebrew U that year too. We weren't married yet then. And he has only 7 kids. And then my youngest son is in Pittsburgh, though right now he's actually working in Washington for the federal government in the Attorney General's office. Hopefully that works out. At least he doesn't have to report directly to Trump. And he lives in Pittsburgh and he's got 2 kids. So all in all, it's just the toughest thing is not being able to go anywhere to see any of our kids. We usually, one kid, my son with the 7 children was supposed to come in for Pesach. Obviously that didn't happen. We usually go there November. Who knows if that's going to happen. We can't even go to Pittsburgh to see our kids there. So that's the sad part of all this. We really miss the kids, but we did get, my son who's in with the 7 kids, never had a computer. He teaches at a yeshiva. The yeshiva bought him a computer so he could Zoom with his students. So Baruch Hashem, we got to Zoom with the whole family on Sunday, Father's Day, and for our anniversary. So that was really, really cool. So all my kids went to the academy. 2 of them were on the basketball team, just in case you were, concerned that maybe there was no sports left in the world or something. I can remember 100 academy stories, but one story is, I don't know if you remember, but the night after senior dinner, my mother made breakfast for everybody in the class. So at the time, my brother Murray, who also unfortunately, he passed away about 10 years ago, my mother and my mom's yahrzeit was this past week, so that's what reminded me of this story. She made breakfast for everybody. So Murray was then in the National Guard in a medical unit with Ken Holtzman. That was the big yichus of that. So my mom, and he was a cook in that unit. So my mom asked him, how does she make eggs for 50 people? Because she wanted to, you can't sit and scramble eggs for 50 people at one time. So she made eggs for 50 people, but she really had to make eggs for like 100 people, which was very typical of her because she was used to serving and making big things and having women's luncheons for 100 people and things like that. So, it came up to me this week and I thought about it and I just thought that was kind of an interesting story. That was one of the last times we were all together. I don't remember exactly how that was relative to graduation, but I'm sure it was within a few weeks of that. So that was, one of the last time we saw everybody. So just, thinking about that and, missing everybody. And when I in Israel, unfortunately, we're just running back and forth between our kids and Alon Shvut in Yerushalayim. So we really don't have time to do a lot of visiting. If God willing, one day we can retire there, then maybe I'll be able to visit some of you. But, we just have next to zero time when we're there because we're just running back and forth between the kids. So that's it. Good to see everybody.
Okay, thank you, Asher. Okay, Larry Chaimhorn, you're already unmuted, so you want to take over?
I can talk now?
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, to make a long story short, I've lived in Israel since the middle of the Yom Kippur War, when I came to Israel on an airplane, which I was the only civilian. Everyone else was a soldier coming in. And there were two fighter jets which accompanied us as we landed. I landed in the middle of the night, and I went to Berot Yitzchak, which is next to where Sari lives, and I walked from the kibbutz and knocked on her parents' door because she wasn't married at the time, and she greeted me to Israel. And since then, I'm married. I have 7 children, a lot of grandchildren. They live all over Israel. I live in Elon Moreh, which is like in the Wild West, and just like Chicago. It's like Chicago. And I've had many experiences with Arabs and worked with them, worked against them, worked for them, whatever you want to say. And I've done all types of jobs. And besides my lovely wife, Linda, from London, who I met here, we have many grandchildren, as I said, and the 7 kids live all over the country. And plus I have my 2 sisters here, Sari and Nomi, who we're very close with. And in fact, I spoke to Sari just before this Zoom meeting. And they're like my sisters, and we've been close together. And I want to thank you, Asher, for coming to when my father passed away for a Shiva call. This is like 25 years ago, and I remember that. So I thank you personally for that. And the only thing, the thing I remember from the academy was the Rosh Chodesh lineup, where everybody acted like the Rosh Chodesh lineup. And I think that's what I remember from the academy. So I wish everybody good health, and sorry for anyone who's passed, and we should all have good health. That's all.
That's why you're looking up their noses.
Okay, thank you very much, Larry. Okay, we're going to go back to the States. Esther, you can unmute yourself. You're on.
Wait, I'm supposed to be muted.
Oh, you're not.
Esther? Okay, don't know what's happening. Okay, so let's get someone else. Okay, Sari, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, I just want to say hi to David. I see he joined us, David Mann.
Yes.
Okay. I'll start with a couple memories. One memory, I think Asher will remember it. We had a winter review in 10th grade, and it was snowing. It was a big snowstorm. And they let us know, of course, there was no communications except the telephone. They let us know that their winter review was called off, and then they let us know that it was on, and then they told us it was off. And Asher was going with Lisa Pearl, who didn't join us today, and I was going with Giora, if everybody remembers him. And in the end, they convinced me that it was on. Lisa convinced me that we had to go, so I walked down the street. There were no cars. We walked down the street and met in Neisner's, I think the name of the store was. And we told our parents that we were just going to tell the boys that it was off. In the end, they came with a limousine. We went in the limousine and we took a, it was 9th grade, Jassy? I see Jassy wrote me that it was 9th grade. I thought it was 10th grade. In any case, Murray was there also, Zichrono Livracha, and I think he was with Skeeter. And we went downtown. It took us about 3 hours to get there. Our parents had no idea where we were. We disappeared off the streets. And it was just a very interesting evening. So that's one memory that I have. I'm sure Asher remembers it. Another memory I have is in senior year for the opening game of the Cubs. About, I don't know, maybe 10 boys and me skipped school. I had permission from my mother, who was a crazy Cubs fan, and we went to the opening Cubs game. So that I remember. I know David was there for sure. I don't remember I think Phil was there, and I'm not sure who else was there. Those are my happy memories of the academy. And
Okay, Sari, I'm going to interrupt you here because Zoom is telling us that we have less than a minute. I'm going to reschedule another meeting to start in about 10-15 minutes. Please join us again. For all those who haven't had the chance to speak, you'll have your chance to speak. And very quickly, I just want to give a list of people who can't make it tonight, but they're giving their regards. Abe Rappuch, David Zuckerman, Joel Goldman, Karen Flanzer Portnoy, Maurizio, Melinda Chazen, Mike Landy, and Miriam Fine-Tricky. Okay, we'll see you all in a few minutes. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.